It's already back to back to back to back for the OU softball team, but in less than a month, could it be back to back to back to back to back? Short answer is, well, it's going to take everyone, but yes, absolutely, Oklahoma is in the mix once again for a national championship, an insane fifth consecutive national championship, and I have the five most important players as OU is on a pursuit, once again, of another national championship. Not the five best players, but the five most important players if OU wants to win a national championship. And there's no way, 0% chance that you guys are going to agree with all five selections that I have. So get in on the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more OU softball content as we are officially in the postseason. So I'll give you my five most important players, and then at the very end of the video, Sophia Bordi put out a statement on Tuesday afternoon. We'll read through that and kind of decipher what that means exactly for her future with Oklahoma softball. But let's get to the list. At number 5, a lot of different players I could have selected here, but I'm going to go with Nelly McEnroe-Moranis. Captain Nelly comes in as the 5th most important player for OU's national championship pursuit, and captain is a big reason why I put Nelly in the top 5. Look, this team is really good. Certainly one of, if not the favorite to win the championship, but leadership is very, very important at this time of the year. And I think, just as a redshirt freshman, Nelly has done a fantastic job of being a captain, being a leader on this year's team. She's been a captain. She's been that leader at the plate. She's led by example, offensively, defensively, and you can just kind of see throughout the game that she's getting the dugout going, really being that presence that Oklahoma had so long with Kinsey Hansen, Tiare Jennings, and so many others. She is a key bat in this lineup as well, outside of just being a captain. Hit .345 on the season. That ranks 4th for OU, and hit 14 home runs, which is tied for 2nd on the team. So she is a very key piece for this team offensively. She's a very key piece for this team defensively at third base. She's the captain. She's got to be in my top 5. Your best players have to play well when it matters most. Nelly got some really cool SEC accolades at the end of the year, but it needs to show up here for a team that is fair to point out not many of them have played in a Women's College World Series before. And Nelly is one of those players that hasn't played in a Women's College World Series before. She was on the team last year, but didn't play. She's going to have to continue to lead by example, come up with the big hits, the clutch hits, if this team is going to win another national championship. Coming in at number 4, the 4th most important player for OU in the postseason, I'm going with Ella Parker. And, you know, you look up, she leads the team in batting average at .417. But why is Ella Parker on this list? Maybe you can argue some others. Well, the OU offense, in case you haven't noticed, is really good. You look at SEC statistics, you look at national statistics, heck, you just look at team batting average and look up and down what players are hitting in this order, it ranks very, very high. It's a very good offense. But we've seen really good Ella Parker this year, and we've seen Ella Parker that's been hampered by injury. Oklahoma was good offensively even when she was in a little bit of a rut, but I do think it's fair to say that when Ella Parker is playing her best softball, hitting her best, it takes the OU offense to another dimension. The pure power that she has. She can hit the ball in the gap. She's just so good at getting on base, drawing walks. Ella Parker, I think, is one of the best hitters in all of college softball, not just on this team. She's really, really good. She's proven it here recently. Ended the year on a hot streak, which I think is very, very important for this team. But when Ella Parker is good, this offense is already really good by itself, but when Ella Parker is good, it just takes things to a different level, and that different level might have to be there if OU is going to win a national championship. So 4th most important player for Oklahoma is Ella Parker there in the middle of the order, absolutely hammering the ball with big RBI opportunities throughout a game. Speaking of RBI opportunities, 3rd most important player for me for OU softball in the postseason, I'm going with Kasidi Pickering. And I'll say the same thing about Kasidi Pickering that I really just said about Ella Parker, and there's a big reason why Ella's at 4 and Kasidi Pickering is at 3. You need big hits in the postseason. You need timely hits with runners in scoring position in the postseason. And I think that there's a very good chance that the two hitters that will have the most RBI opportunities or even the most big hit opportunities, Ella Parker and Kasidi Pickering. And if those things are true, then I'll feel even better about OU's chances in the postseason. Kasidi Pickering, I thought, was certainly in the mix and probably your most consistent hitter from game one of the regular season all the way up into the start of the SEC tournament. Unfortunately, Kasidi Pickering is 2 for 12 in her last 4 games. Am I worried about Kasidi Pickering? I have zero concern whatsoever about Kasidi Pickering. I've got no doubt that she's going to turn it on and really play good softball, not just offensively, but defensively now that the postseason is here. She's had too good of a regular season to all of a sudden drop into a slump. So I think Kasidi Pickering is going to be back. I think she's going to deliver big hits for you. But your two players from last year's offense, not just the only two, but the two incredible freshmen from last year's team that won a national championship, they've been here before. They performed well on the big stage. Ella Parker at 4, Kasidi Pickering at 3. If you get the best that those two hitters have to offer, you're going to be in a really good spot offensively. And you need big hitters in big series, in big games. You need them to come through. Kasidi Pickering and Ella Parker, you need them to come through. They're very, very important in OU's pursuit of another national championship. The second most important player for OU in its pursuit of another national championship, I am going with a pitcher not named Sam Landry. But I'm not just going to say the entire group. I think that would be a bit of a cop-out. I'm going to give you a name. I think Audrey Lowry is the second most important player for OU in the postseason. Now, it's fair to assume that Sam Landry is going to start the most games, pitch the most innings for OU in this postseason run. I think that we would all be very surprised and frankly quite shocked if Sam Landry doesn't get the majority of the workload in the postseason. I think we all know that that's going to happen. But Sam Landry is not going to pitch every single inning of every single game. So someone else is going to have to step up. It's the same storyline that we've been talking about now for several weeks. You're probably at some point going to need a pitcher not named Sam Landry to start and perform well in a very, very big game, maybe even a game in Oklahoma City. Well, I think Audrey Lowry is that pitcher right now. And I think that because her last 3 appearances, she's been fantastic. In her last 3 appearances, Audrey Lowry is a combined, in 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits allowed, no earned runs, my favorite stat, 0 walks, and 4 strikeouts in her last 3 appearances. Again, that spans 5 1/3 inning. And that's not against bad opponents. That's against very, very good SEC competition. That's against Arkansas in the SEC tournament where she pitched 3 innings, gave up no hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and no earned runs. That's against Florida where she pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up no hits, no earned runs, no walks. And that's against Florida again, 1 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, no walk, and 1 strikeout. So in her last 3 appearances, against 2 very good offenses in Florida and Arkansas, Audrey Lowry has allowed 0 runs, and she hasn't walked any hitters. And all of those games, by the way, were on the road. They weren't in front of her home fans in Norman. Audrey Lowry has looked fantastic in her last 3 appearances. Now, it is fair to point out that none of those appearances were starts. I hope Audrey Lowry gets a start at some point in the regional because, like I said, someone other than Sam Landry is going to have to start a big game at some point. I think it's going to be Audrey Lowry. I want it to be Audrey Lowry. I think that she's ready for this moment. I think that she's your number 2 arm heading into the postseason. She's your second biggest player in the pursuit of another national championship. So who's the most important player of them all? Nellie is 5, Ella Parker's 4, Pickering's 3, Audrey Lowry 2, all important. Who's number 1? I'm sure you guys guessed this. But Sam Landry, to me, the regular season MVP, is the single most important player for OU in the postseason. And I don't think it's that hot of a take, because Sam Landry, my regular season MVP, I thought that she was the single most important player for OU in the regular season. So why would that change now in the postseason when I think her workload could be bumped up even more at this point in the postseason? You need Sam Landry to be great. You need Sam Landry to be elite. You need Sam Landry to be the best version of herself. Just like Kelly Maxwell last year. Just like Jordy Ball. Just like when Hope Troutwine rose to the occasion. Just like when G. Juarez pitched the best softball of her career in a pursuit of a national championship. You need Sam Landry to be that pitcher. And I trust that she will be that pitcher. But you need Sam Landry to be great because she will have the most starts. She will have the most innings. She will have the most pressure-packed situations. And I feel great about Sam Landry in all of those spots, but you need her to carry this pitching staff. She's not going to do it all alone. She will have a pitcher or two behind her, but as OU pursues another national championship, there is no doubt whatsoever who your ace is in the circle. Sam Landry, to me, you got to have it. You got to have her best. I think that you will get her best, but nobody is more important on this team than Sam Landry. It's going to take everybody. It's going to take everybody to win a championship just like it did last year, but I'm looking at Sam Landry to leading this team to another title. Again, what are your thoughts? Drop those in the comments. Look forward to seeing who you guys have in your top 5, top 3, or if you just want to put number 1. Interested to see all those responses. So Sophia Bordi, she's gone home. She's not with the team this postseason. She put out a statement on Tuesday afternoon that says this: with all the articles and rumors coming out, I thought I would address this situation myself. First, I appreciate Coach Gasso for keeping my information private. I made the decision myself to step away from school and softball for the rest of the season because I needed to take time to work on my personal/mental health. This was something that I felt needed to be dealt with back home with my family support, and also so I wasn't a distraction to the team in the middle of the season. I appreciate everyone's concerns, but wish that information wasn't being falsely spread the way it was. With that being said, the season is still going, and my girls are still working. I'm always watching and cheering for them, no matter what. Heart emoji, Boomer. So good on Sophia Bordi putting that out, clearing the air a little bit. And, my initial thought when I read this is, completely unsure if Sophia Bordi is going to be back next year. And the thing is, she may not even know the answer to that. Patty Gasso may not know the answer to that. Maybe that's still got to be worked out. But for whatever reason, I feel like, okay, maybe I feel slightly better about Sophia Bordi returning to the team next year. That's just kind of the way that I read into that. And certainly circumstances change. We don't know exactly what's going on here. And I should say that I wish for the best for Sophia Bordi. And I know you guys wish for the absolute best for Sophia Bordi and whatever issues she has going on right now. I hope she works through that and she comes back better than ever. But it was a statement that left me optimistic about her future. Clearly, she's not off the team. And in fact, as recently as Tuesday afternoon, her name is still mentioned on the Sooner Sports website. So I don't think it's a situation today where Sophia Bordi has officially left the team and told Oklahoma that she's never playing for OU and going to hop in the transfer portal at some point. I don't believe that that's what the situation is right now. Still very, very up in the air if she returns to Oklahoma or not. And I'm sure at some point during the summer, we're going to find out exactly what her future plans are. But I certainly wouldn't put the percentages at 0 that she's on the roster next year and contributing for this Oklahoma softball team. I also wouldn't say that I'm confident enough to put it over 50%. It's a statement. I wish her the best. It makes me feel a little bit optimistic we could see her next year, but we still got a lot of questions. And again, maybe the Bordi family, maybe Patty Gasso in Oklahoma, they still don't know for sure if she's going to be back next year. So we'll continue to monitor the situation. If any information comes out, I'll read it, I'll share it, we'll talk about it for sure. Most importantly, Sophia Bordi, get well soon, take care of what you need to take care of. And I know that I speak for the entirety of Sooner Nation. We hope you're back. We hope you're back next year and playing a big role in a year's time in a team that's hopefully pushing for another national championship next year. Best time of the year, can't say it enough, Friday at 5, OU and Boston. I'll have a full preview coming out before Friday. Got a special guest lined up as well that will potentially drop on Friday morning. I'll give you more information on that on the next video. But appreciate you guys as always. I'm glad we get to do this postseason thing together. As always, thank you for watching.